reasons my mantra that I still, work on living by every day is play life like a game, because what am I rushing off to? Because there's always going to be something else to do, to achieve, to help me feel my most successful self. Because hey, Empowered Vegan Lifers, Ella here, and Stephanie, you're with us today. Hi.
I am. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It feels like it's been a while.
I know, right? You know what? I have to admit something.
Yeah, tell me.
I was a little worried that you were going to be really upset with Tammy and I.
I have to tell you, it stung just a little. I mean, sex is my topic. I love it so much, but what a great podcast you guys put together.
Well, I didn't tell you this, but we talked about this extensively, Tammy and I.
Oh my gosh.
Because I knew that this was going to be the case. And I was like, oh my God, Stephanie's going to be so jealous. She's going to be so upset because this is her topic. Like, this is not my topic. This is Stephanie's topic. Her topic is sex. So with that being said, we decided that who doesn't want to hear more about sex? Nobody. So we're going to make it a series.
True. Sex does not need to end with the last podcast.
Not at all. So I promised Tammy, I said, will you come back and do one with Stephanie? So that we can then, and I can't wait to hear yours. Like, I'm already excited to hear yours.
Well, it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the plan.
That'll be great. I loved it. And I loved listening to the podcast. I mean, Tammy's so fantastic. And I mean, how much she's done so much work in the field. So it was what a great topic. What
a great work.
Yeah. What a great work that is.
Yes. Yes. Well, I got a text from Christian later that day. He said, I'm in for the food game.
That's great. I love that.
Yes. So lots of games to play. If you haven't listened to that episode, you guys, now's the time. Go back. Yes. I mean, not right now, because this is going to be a great episode too. But after this one, go back and watch.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the other thing about today is that by the time this comes out, we will have had our opening ceremony at Vegan Life Coach Academy. We will be several days into the first group of people going through this membership, and wow, am I excited.
I know. We've been planning this for so long and really, really dreaming about it for so long. I mean, it kind of started out as, well, what if, scenarios. And so all that work that you put in, and Ella, you are such a I don't know how to put this. What am I trying to say? You are a master at designing programs. And I remember once I was texting with Johnny from SobiKick just briefly. And one thing he said to me was that you're a master motivator. And it's so true. So true. And so the programs that you put together are so amazing. And this one's going to kick some ass.
Thank you. That means so much, because honestly, I love creating programs. It is my thing, and it's what really lights me up. It gets me going in the mornings when I know that I can work on a program. So this one, super excited about, and we will launch again, but we just don't have a date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay tuned.
When the time is right. Stay tuned.
That's right. Well, today I'm going to start with a quote. How about that?
I love quotes.
Busy is a drug that a lot of people are addicted to, by Rob Bell.
Oh,
what do you think about that one?
Oh, I think Rob Bell is right on the money. I think that we've come to a place in our society, and of course with COVID, we've had to rethink that a little bit. But if we are saying we're not busy, there's something wrong with us. that we are, that we aren't doing enough. And we get addicted to that distraction that busyness gives us.
Really is. It's become this kind of badge of honor, right? And a source of self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've been guilty of that.
Yeah.
I sure have been guilty of that myself. And I'm still working on, though I have decided, and I have now for a year, eliminated the word busy from my vocabulary altogether.
Yeah.
And it's been the most interesting, very freeing, also very interesting, because it's forced me, somebody asked me to do something and I can't say, oh, I can't, I'm busy. I have to decide what the reason is that I'm not going to do that I'm going to choose not to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can be a little tough because you're going to end up disappointing people. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier to make up an excuse. And by making up, I don't mean necessarily, purposefully saying a lie. Everything's a choice. Everything is a choice. Everything is a priority, and we get to pick those priorities. So when I say I can't do something, that means that I'm choosing to do something else instead, and that is more important to me at that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. If you say yes to something, you have to say no to something else. I mean, it's just inherently true. So you have to make good choices when it comes to your time and your energy.
That's right. So this has been another good one to help in the recovery of people pleasing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm choosing to say different words to people. I'm saying, I'm not saying I can't. we are the vocabulary police, you guys. If you not know already. Point is helping with recovery of people pleasing, because I'm going to tell somebody that I'm choosing to do something else rather than helping them or doing whatever they want me to do. So that's the other thing. Busyness, it's not a reality, right? It's a perceived reality. It's a state of mind, meaning that it's all in our heads and it's coming from our thoughts. So if you think about it, for someone who's used to doing very little in their lives, having a few errands to run one day would have them saying, oh, this is a busy day. It's simply what you're busy doing. You can be busy Netflixing out on the couch, right?
Right. So
true. If you can make life busy, you can also make life not busy. And if you think about it, and this is going to go a little deeper here, life is made up of present moments, right? At each and every moment, you're doing something, whether that be eating, doing your taxes. Only your mind can be busy. And you've programmed your brain to believe being busy is how you operate and that it's outside of your control, that it's your environment. But it's not. It's inside you. It's inside your mind. And after years and years of telling yourself you're constantly busy, you're now so wired that you're living in this state of being that has you identifying yourself as busy. Like that's who you are. You've created this personality of being busy. And your personality creates your personal reality. Is that something Dr. Joe Dispenza says?
It is. It is. It's exactly what he says. Yeah.
I'm picking up on his vocabulary now.
That's a good one to pick up on.
It is, because he talks about energy, and we are the energy we create and put out into the universe. So as long as we keep saying we're busy, we will always let busyness rule our lives and keep us in a state of overwhelm and in that state of constantly rushing around. And that is just, it's no way to live, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. And really saying you're busy is a good cop out. It's an excuse for everything now. Yes. We can justify anything by blaming it on being busy. And I think I've done that. I think I've done that to a huge degree. In fact, I was talking with my trainer this morning, and I was saying, I was pretty athletic. I was committed to the gym until I had children. And then my excuse was, I'm busy building a family and building a career, and I didn't have time. But it was really an excuse for not focusing on myself. So, one thing that we tell people in the program is being busy, to think, as people sometimes say, is a way to give yourself permission to not do your self-empowered coaching work.
Which is in episode number 4.
Number 4.
By the way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because when you don't take time to acknowledge your feelings and assess your thoughts behind those feelings, you move unconsciously through the world. And really, you cannot and will not create the opportunity for growth and fulfillment, and for really taking the time to design the life that you really want, because you're too busy doing other things.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not really about what you're doing.
No.
It's about the thoughts surrounding what you're doing. And I want to say that again, because I think that's really important. It's not about what you're doing. It's about the thoughts surrounding what you're doing. And for me, I realized that I was feeling stressed and anxious and overwhelmed much of the time, not because of what I was doing each day, but because of my thoughts around what I was doing every day. And busyness really does tend to have that negative connotation in a lot of cases, because not because of the actual thing you're doing, but because of the feelings and the thoughts that come along with this I'm busy thing, these feelings of overwhelm and worry and anxiety. But busy can also have a positive connotation, right? If you're an entrepreneur and you're busy with an influx of business, chances are you're pumped and excited about being busy. So it's a perception. It has nothing to do with the actual activities you're doing. I mean, I'm certainly busy, and I am loving every moment of creating this membership and launching this membership. I haven't had time for much else. Funny enough, Stephanie, I was on Jeff Palmer's Facebook Live the other week. He was on.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, it went so well. Like we just have this bond. Those of you who don't know Jeff Palmer, his company is Clean Machine. It's a vegan, very quality vegan protein line. And I interviewed him. I can't remember which episode now. Great interview. He is so inspiring, so motivational. His story just gives me permachills. Yeah. But towards at the very end, he said, "Oh, well, tell us what else you're up to." Because I was talking about Vegan Life Coach Academy. And of all the questions to be stumped by, I literally drew a blank. And I was like, oh no, my priority for the last few months, it's been on this program, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay that I haven't had much of a social life. Not that there's much to do these days anyway. That worked out actually kind of well, that most restaurants are closed anyway still here in Miami, at least inside. But yeah, that was my stump. I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that what you said was really true. It's about where your priorities are, and that you're okay with that. And when we're talking about busyness, what we really need to be shifting the conversation to is, where are you going to put your energy? It's not about time. It's about energy and where that energy goes. And so what gets your energy? What is that priority? And so
yeah,
I think we're very lucky that that's been your priority, of course, for so many, but what an interesting concept.
Exactly. And so I want our listeners here, Empowered Vegan Lifers, think about this. What are you really telling yourself when you say you're busy? I want you to ask yourself that. What are you making it mean? Because I'm busy could mean I don't think I have enough time to check off everything on my to-do list, which can trigger negative emotions and anxiety. But guess what, you guys? There will always be something on your to-do list. Once you check everything off, you're going to add something else, right? There's no arrival. There's no arrival when you say, there is nothing left on my to-do list. I am free for the rest of my life, right? That sounds ridiculous. So what are we in such a hurry for all the time? And this is one of the reasons my mantra that I still, work on living by every day is play life like a game, because what am I rushing off to? Because there's always going to be something else to do, to achieve, to help me feel my most successful self, because once we get something, we're going to want something more. It just is the way it is. Yeah. So when you guys think I'm busy, ask yourself, so what? What does that really mean? Maybe it's that you have booked your schedule solid and did not plan any rest time in there to simply be, or for self-care, including meal prepping as a form of self-care, by the way, and being physically active in an enjoyable way. It's all about priorities. And that, Stephanie, what about that have to versus choose to vocabulary?
Yeah, it really is. It's that difference between doing things out of obligation versus making a choice. And when you put the choice on yourself, then you become responsible for your entire life, everything that's included. And so it really is about that language, about really directing where your thoughts, where your energy, where your time goes, rather than living life out of obligation.
Yep. And the other thing, and so one of the challenges I think we should give you guys is 2 vocabulary shifts this week. Number 1, get rid of busyness, get rid of the word busy.
Yeah.
Make a different language choice. And number 2, get rid of the I have to.
Yeah.
Some substitutes are I choose to, I'm going to, I'm grateful to be able to, I get to, right? When we change it like that, all of a sudden this gratitude thing pops up.
Absolutely.
Like, I get to get out of bed today. Not everybody got to get out of bed today. I am so grateful that my body allows me to get up out of bed and go to work today. It really shifts things so powerfully. You know what I mean?
It really does. And gratitude is the cousin of empowerment. And so, when we shift that language, not only are we inviting that gratitude into our life, but we are living from an empowered place rather than from a place of victimhood.
Yep. And the other point I want to make is that saying you're busy, for us perfectionists, it really does feed into perfectionism and a sense of unworthiness, because a lot of times we attach our worth to how busy we are. As long as we say we're busy, it shows that we're trying. And as long as we're trying, then we're not a slacker. And if we're not a slacker, we're worthy of living, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is something, wow, I still find myself working on this one a lot, because it's almost like you brag. I was up at 4:00. I've been at the computer for 12 hours. Like, why am I so proud of that? Why does that make me more worthy? Or does that make me a better person? Because I sat at the computer for 12 hours straight without taking care of myself very well, and without, taking the time to rest my eyes, or, eat mindfully. That's really nothing to be proud of if you think about it.
No, it really isn't. It's really kind of a scary thought, that if you attach that worth to how you're spending hours and hours and hours in work and in obligation, it really isn't a very good measure.
Yes, exactly. You can be busy taking care of everyone else's needs also, which is a great excuse for staying stuck, because you fear what will happen if you put yourself first. Yeah. There's this fear that people will think you're selfish. And there's also often a fear that maybe even if you take the time for yourself, you aren't good enough to find meaning or create joy in your life. And then you feel like a failure, like a miserable person, and there's no hope for you. And these are scary thoughts.
Yeah, they really are. I think that's probably where I fall more. I know you fall on the perfectionistic side, and I fall more on the, oh my gosh, if I take this time, I'm going to feel guilty, and I'm not serving others, and then I don't deserve that time. But what a backward way of thinking, really.
It is. This whole thing is backwards, because also being busy has nothing to do with being productive.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
we think that those are one and the same,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
absolutely is not. In fact, thinking you're busy is counterproductive. If your mental space is so consumed with thoughts of how busy you are, that space and that mental energy is not being used to actually get anything accomplished. It's more of a distraction than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Breaks are important, and we need those, but by the way, you can't really be busy. When you're truly living in the present moment, busyness isn't an issue. So when you decide on what you're doing during a certain time frame, be there, put your full attention there, focus on that thing that you're doing, and it's like magic. The busyness just seems to just disappear because it actually doesn't exist. It exists only in our minds, and that's why being present is one of the antidotes to busyness.
Yes, that presence, that living in the moment thing that we all know is the best way to live, but we all know just how challenging that can be. So as
Yeah.
long as you're not driving, I want to encourage you guys right now to take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Be right here, right now, for just 5 seconds. And if you were able to do that for just those 5 seconds, for those 5 seconds, no matter what else you were doing before or what you're going to do after, you were not busy. And nothing in your environment changed. It was you that changed.
Mm-hmm.
Great things happen when we give up the myth of busyness. In the mindset of busyness, the thought often is, my plate is full. But watch what happens when you give up the notion that you're busy. All of a sudden, your plate expands. It's quite amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I love that. I love that.
Me too. I feel calmer just right now, having just done that exercise myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Even 5 seconds of just calm, present, being with the breath. You're right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna ask some homework of you guys for the next month. I want you to really commit. Can you do that? Can you commit for the next month to not saying I'm busy? And when you think it, acknowledge it and come up with a new thought to clarify what's really going on. If you have the urge to say I'm busy, pause, there's that power pause, and say, what do I really mean by that?
Mm.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's share about that. We're going to be working on this in depth in Vegan Life Coach Academy, certainly. And every month we have a theme there, a mindset theme, a mindset challenge. We also have a physical challenge every month. We are working. Oh, I guess I can say it now because we had the big reveal. We are working push-ups this month.
Yes.
So we test
push-ups
at the beginning, we test ourselves at the end, and we make progress. Like I know there are some people that are more motivated than others by seeing that increase in strength, but I don't know anybody who doesn't get motivated when you see yourself getting stronger, when you're able to measure yourself getting stronger, knowing of all the benefits that that's going to bring you. It's not about the push-ups.
Right.
It's about creating and building this strong, healthy, fit body for life. Absolutely. And having a goal of increasing your number of push-ups is a great tangible way to get you motivated to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And talk about being in the moment. What a wonderful way to be in the moment with your body, doing those push-ups and just asking yourself, can I just do one more? Is there one more I can do in this? And it'll be exciting to see what we do with it next month.
Yes, I'm so excited. I love the fitness part.
I know you do.
Stephanie's the mindset master. And yeah, I'm kind of the fitness freak.
We make such a great couple.
We are such a good couple. Oh. All right. Is there anything else? I think we're going to wrap it up. What about you, Steph?
I think we have covered it all today.
Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening. If you're loving what you hear, if you could take just a few seconds and go and give us a review, we'd be truly grateful. Definitely share this with all your friends and family as well. And that's a wrap. We'll see you next time.
Till next time.